What is up, guys, and welcome back to another solo DMZ video. And if you actively play DMZ, it's most likely often you find yourself in a situation such as these three guys right here.
GG, brothers, remember the name, Wizard.
And we all know nothing's worse than losing your juicy insured weapons right after you build them and going back to shuffle through your contraband weapons before going out again. Now, a lot of people ask me, what do I do to regain my insured weapons and loot? So I decided today I'm going to show you guys just that. It may be familiar for some of you, but I do have my routes that I use, and for the most part, I'm constantly dying. So this way at least makes it a little bit more bearable for me. And I know Season 3 is coming out tomorrow, but I believe this way will still be the method, at least for insurance going forward. But the way I regain, I have at least 2 insured weapons back in under 3 minutes. Now for this upcoming footage, I'm going to be spawning here at Town Center, which is arguably one of the best spawns. In terms of regaining 3 plates, Ashika still might be the best way if they don't change chest spawns, but with Season 3, there will be a new bartering system, which will probably be the go-to for crafting one of the 4 new plate carriers: the tempered plate, medic plate, comms plate, and the stealth plate, which all have their own recipes, which I'm sure I'll also make a video on at a later date. Now, as we spawn in, there's only one goal in mind, and that is getting our insured weapons back. And like I said, this is done around or under 3 minutes in the game, and I'll also have a timer at the top right of the screen just to show you guys how fast this is. Now, for these 3 northern spawns up here, this right here is all you need to get everything for a regain. Varying from which spawn you get, there's always a dead drop close enough to get your insured weapons back, or free loot spawns for self-revives and a 3 plate. The way I do it, it makes sure you don't have to bother with a stronghold or waste stronghold keycards, and also not bring in any contraband weapons, because all you need to do is kill one bot with a throwing knife. After this, all you do is kill the bots that populate the areas around the dead drop, which for the most time there's plenty around for you to do so. In my opinion, this is going to be the exact same strategy for the upcoming Season 3 to get your insured weapons back, as well as 3 plates and self-revives. And it'll especially help you gear out each active duty slot if you're preparing for a hard mission. With one-shot snipers coming back, I'm sure that most of us will spend our time regaining regardless, so we might as well practice the easiest and most efficient ways to do so we can get back out there geared so we avoid dying even more. With all these changes coming, another good thing to know is that you'll also be able to add and remove attachments to contraband weapons with a new feature they're adding called workbenches. And I believe they had stated this, that the workbenches themselves will be in close proximity, not actually at buy stations, but close by. Regardless though, it will cost money to add and remove attachments, so contracts may be the way for getting the money to swap out the attachments. That way you can still grab someone's ridiculously built weapons, as well as the AI weapons you want to be more kitted out. Also, speaking of contracts, there will be a new contract called the supply run, which will be an important factor of regaining in a lower risk way in forms of wooden crates instead of safes. It may not give you as much money as a safe does, and it might give you lower tier items, but if you want to regain more so at your own pace by doing these contracts, it'll be a lot safer and you'll avoid a lot more of AI versus safe cracking. Alright, we got a minute left, about a minute left on the timer, and all we're doing is just throwing these weapons into the dead drop, just rapid fire, just throwing pretty much all we have into the dead drop. It is pretty simple, but I see a lot of the time people get gear fear and they get scared to bring up their or lose their insured weapons, when it's really just not that hard to get your insured weapon back. So I mean, there really is no substance behind losing your insured weapons, because you can just get them back so fast, you know what I mean? Especially if you're a solo and you have like a mission to do, it's better to just get used to dying and having your regain be like the easiest thing you do. A lot of the times I see like a random team, or yeah, like my random teammates or a team I kill, it's often I hear them complain about losing their precious weapons, you know? But a lot of the time they just don't realize losing your weapon means virtually nothing when you can get it back so fast. And here we are, 20 seconds left on the timer, and we're going to the dead drop to throw in our last weapon. And there we go. Alright, so under 3 minutes, pretty much. 2 minutes and 50 seconds. I already have my insured weapons back, and at this point you have 2 options. You can back out and continue with your insured weapon, or you can get your self-revive right here and a 3 plate. Right now I'm going to show you guys in this medical building. It is perfect for getting your self-revives, as well as getting them to throw into this dead drop right next to it if you didn't get enough weapons from the AI. So right now I'm just showing you guys all the spawns right here. There we go, we already have our self-revive back, and the last one is right here. So usually these have self-revives all in them, and on top of that there is a chest spawns up top, right here, and over back right there. Alright guys, the next place we're going to be talking about are the apartments right here. There are 4 guaranteed rare chests in this building every game, no matter what, and it's random which side they spawn on, but they're always here no matter what. So if you just spawned in on this northern side of the map and you're looking to regain, I never really run into anyone ever while pushing these buildings, and the money you get from these chests you can just deposit into the dead drop over by town center. The players who spawn at the farm nearby, for the most part they stay in farm or push to town center, and the team in town center for the most part stay in town center or they push to beach club. So from my experience, you can always get here first, loot it, and get away without ever seeing anyone. After this, I'll break down every route I suggest for each spawn on Ashika Island to kind of help you guys out and kind of visualize it for you guys. But for the most part, out of all the videos I've ever watched on regaining in DMZ, I'd say that this method is 100% the fastest way without having to bring in, you know, your contraband weapon, a stronghold keycard, and for running into the least amount of players during the regain. I also suggest making a dead drop your main priority, because all you need to do is throw in some weapons, some sort of weapon in, and you secure yourself at least some sort of progress in your regain. Because if you die, there's a ton of more options when it comes to regaining your 3 plates and self-revives, to the point where your insured weapons should come first and the rest should come later. Just because if you die when in the middle of a regain and you grab your 3 plate first and you die with that, then you just restart, and you know it becomes kind of tedious. But that's really all you need to know in order to get your insurance and equipment back. But before I go, I'm going to break it down on the Ashika Island map for you guys to help you guys decide where to go for each spawn in order to ensure the fastest recovery time for your regain. Alright guys, so using this map as kind of a very rough guide to help other players get a good idea, with AI spawns being pink and dead drops being green, I'll throw up arrows as I'm talking about each spawn as in the direction you should head as you spawn. As for the number 1 spawn, I suggest going this route to the nearest dead drop, being that there's AI spawns here and here, with the second being an HVT that spawns in the left side of the bathrooms. This spawn is also an insurance of a sub 3-minute regain. For the number 2 spawn, you saw that in the beginning of the video and I showed you the route right there, which is my favorite route. I also forgot to add that there's a chance for a safe to spawn in the building here right next to your spawn. I also want to point out that the building next to the dead drop has a chance for 3 gold chest spawns here on the roof. For the number 3 spawn, I suggest skipping farms completely, grabbing the ATV that's next to your spawn, and driving it to the apartments for a guaranteed 4 gold chests on either side of the apartments, and then making your way to the closest dead drop for the AI kills and deposits. For the number 4 spawn, you can kill AI for this dead drop right next to it, or you can be the first 2 apartments to regain your 3 plate and self-revive plus backpack, and then come back to the dead drop for your insurance. This one is pretty simple and maybe one of the easiest of the 6. For spawn 5, going left to the closest dead drop up top is a good idea, because the near team doesn't usually stay around their spawn in residential, and you'll be able to have that dead drop to yourself to regain easily from the AI there. Now the last and final spawn, what you can do is head this way to kill the AI up top, and then run through waterway to deposit weapons, or if you know the way to the secret tunnel under the castle, you can drive a jet ski over there. It is higher risk though due to tier 3 bots, so sometimes it may not be worth doing it. As always, I suggest sticking to the dead drop first and basing your plate and self-revive regain off of the top side of the map for those free chest spawns. Hopefully this helps some of you guys feel better about having to regain and just maybe made things easier for you. As always, thanks for watching the video, and I'd appreciate it if you could drop a like on the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.